as beautifully expressed by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. If we are to have peace on earth, our loyalties must transcend our race, our tribe, our class, and our nation. And this means we must develop a world perspective. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Gopalan International School, I wish everyone a wonderful and blessed day ahead and welcome you to the third edition of Gopalan Electronic Model United Nations 2020. 75 years ago, as the world was gasping in horror from the after effects of two terrible wars, the United Nations was formed to avert and prevent such horrors. Since then, the world has progressed to the cutting edge of science and technology, and the nations of the world have come together under the UN umbrella to collaborate, cooperate, and resolve the various issues and conflicts on the global stage. We are still plagued by the violence of civil war, terrorism, environmental issues, refugee crisis, hunger, racial abuse, and a global pandemic of epic proportions. So, although the settings have changed and the contexts have been tweaked, we are still a long way from a stable and peaceful world. It is vital that in such situations we have the United Nations as an international forum to facilitate cooperation between countries and preserve world peace, and to be a center for harmonizing the actions of nations in the attainment of these common ends. MUN is a simulation of an actual United Nations conference where students take on the roles of delegates, speakers, and chairs representing different countries. It helps students with confidence building, analytical skills, diplomacy, public speaking, writing skills, networking, and leadership skills. I would now like to invite our head boy, Mr. Ronit Danti, to deliver the welcome speech.
Intelligence is not expecting people to understand what your intent is. It is anticipating how it will be perceived. We wish the assembled gathering a very good morning and welcome all of you to Gopalan Electronic Model United Nations Conference 2020. On this momentous occasion, it is our privilege to welcome our directors, Dr. C. Prabhakar and Sunita Ma'am, COO Mr. Jagdish Chandra, GM Colonel Shailendra Rao, our principal Mrs. Sita Shankar, academic coordinators Mrs. Pramila, Mrs. Sharmila, Mrs. Seminar, Mrs. Shanti Majumdar, and Mrs. Samata Edward, sports coordinator Mr. Shivaraj, Nana Ma'am, chief guest, executive board members, teachers, delegates of the GMUN, and students who are all attending this conference. We are absolutely delighted to have you here with us today.
Thank you, Ronit. It takes a ray of light to dispel darkness, no matter how long it has pervaded a space. Light symbolizes knowledge and divinity. It is the tradition of our institute to begin any event with the lighting of the lamp.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म
When we pray with faith, we express it through our sincere thanks to the Divine. Let us call upon God's presence among our midst with a prayer song.
Oh Lord, I honestly pray in thankfulness for every single day, for all creations bright and beautiful everywhere. We at GIS, we need your guidance as we learn to love and honor our parents and our teachers and our friends with everything we do and sing. We at GIS, we need your presence to experience the joy of learning in the classrooms and all around. With every step we take each day, shine on us, shine on us. Oh Lord, I earnestly pray in thankfulness for every single day, for all creations bright and beautiful everywhere. We at GIS, we need your guidance as we learn to love and honor our parents and our teachers and our friends with everything we do and sing. We at GIS, we need your presence to experience the joy of learning in the classrooms and all around. With every step we take each day, shine on us, shine on us, shine on us.
Where there is harmony between the mind, heart, and resolution, then nothing is impossible. We shall now have our students who will recite a hymn from the Rig Veda.
Sangachadam Sangvadadvam Sambho Manansi Janatam Samanumantra Sameti Samani Samanam Mana Sahajeta Mesha Sangachadam Samvadadvam Sambho Manansi Janatam Samani Bhakuti
Thank you, friends, for enlightening us with these pearls of wisdom taken from our sacred texts. We would like to thank our directors, Prabhakar Sir, Sunita Ma'am, COO Brigadier Jagdish Chandra Sir, and GM Colonel Sailendra Rao for their constant support and encouragement, and for being a catalyst that stimulated our students to do their best. True welcome is never complete without warm words. I request our Honorable Principal, Dr. Sita Shankar, to accord a formal welcome to the delegates.
Good morning, delegates, officials, chairperson, and organizing committee. Welcome to yet another edition of Gopalan Virtual MUN. Model United Nations Conference is a unique experience. Hundreds of thousands of students worldwide take part every year at all educational levels. Many of today's leaders in law, government, business and arts, including the UN itself, have participated in Model United Nations as students. It is a platform wherein you understand different perspectives and settings. I recommend each and every one should participate in Model United Nations at least once. Gopalan Model United Nations Conference is a diplomatic simulation. Respect and cooperation are the fundamentals of this debate. This setting allows every participant to understand how existing international bodies work and the contribution they themselves can make to help solve issues and challenges that affect our planet today. I wish all the participants the very best. The future of our nation and our world rests in your hands. Today's mothers are all set to be tomorrow's responsible lawmakers and citizens. I hope all the learning you have assimilated here will serve you well in your future endeavors. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Sita ma'am, for the warm address. Now, let us invite our senior academic coordinator, Amuda ma'am, to say a few words on this special occasion.
Good morning, leaders, delegates, and honored guests. This is Amuda Edward, the high school coordinator at Gopalan International School and the teacher coordinator for the GMUN conference. It is with great pride and a tremendous sense of honor that I welcome you all to the opening ceremony of the third edition of the Gopalan Model United Nations Conference. After two successful versions of the GMUN, we now venture towards the online edition of GMUN 2020. GMUN started its journey with 98 participants in 2018, and today we have 195 students gathered here for the third edition of the conference. The beginning of a small passion and the most impressive part of the journey for me was to find out that there are many students who are interested in global issues. And I sincerely hope this event too will help you take action as global citizens, leading a fair and just society for the future of humanity. My best wishes goes out to the GMUN Secretariat and the organizing committee. May the hard work you have put in pay rich dividends and may you scale new heights of excellence in this endeavor. My best wishes goes out to each delegate here. From the discussions in your committee, may something truly concrete emerge, which makes you realize the importance of dialogue, the need for cooperation, and the necessity of collective action. Wishing you all a meaningful and a fun conference, making memories for a lifetime. All the best.
Thank you, Amita ma'am, for your encouraging and wise words. We have amongst us a distinguished chief guest who has retired from the UN Department of Peacekeeping Operations. An aviation management specialist, he has served the United Nations Mission for Food Security in Africa at the peak of the famine and civil war. I take great pride in inviting our chief guest, Mr. Kalyan Majumdar, to say a few words.
Greetings of the day to the principal madam, the faculty, and my young participants of the Model UN Convention. I'm here to speak on peacekeeping, but before that, let me give you a little about myself. I am a retiree from United Nations Department of Peacekeeping Operations, where I worked for 18 long, cheerful, happy, rewarding career. I am basically a logistician. I specialize in aviation management. My job in UN peacekeeping was to manage the movement control section. Movement control means movement of men and material, and in a mission where we have peacekeeping, movement control is one of the most important logistical support. Peacekeeping started by Mr. Ralph Bunche, the first Black American Nobel laureate. Now the peacekeeping forces are about 100,000 spread around 15 missions in the world. Now, apart from this 100,000 uniformed people, we also are civilians who are deployed along with them. We consist of about 3,000 to 5,000 of them. We support them. What does peacekeeping mean? Peacekeeping means keeping peace, and in a rugged, unfavorable conditions. That's why peacekeepers often go to places where others cannot or will not venture. The aspects of peacekeeping mission are protection of civilians. Wherever there is a fight or a war or clash, the most affected are the hapless civilians. There we are to protect them. The next thing that we do with peacekeeping is resolution or containment of conflicts between varying parties. And the third most important thing is building sustainable peace. That's what we are there for. Peacekeeping missions does not necessarily mean that we shall have only military personnel or civilians like me along with that. We have the experts in human rights, in demining, in disarmament, in civil liberties, in rule of law, in election, and in governance. Not only these, there are much more than that. So every mission that we have, they are like a country in a small shape. Peacekeeping missions that I have worked are in Western Sahara, Angola, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Sudan, East Africa, and Darfur, also Liberia. In these missions, all of us, like me and my colleagues, we all from around the world have worked together, irrespective of color, creed, caste, or background. Our main motto was to fulfill the mandate of the Security Council. Modern peacekeeping nowadays has been more and more challenging due to multiplication of crises in Africa, renewed hope in the United Nations peacekeeping operations, and massive human sufferings. This has been coupled or maybe made more difficult with the budgetary constraints. As I said, budgetary constraints means doing more and more with less and less. For information, our budgetary limit is $7.5 billion annually which is only 0.5% of the world's military spending. So we are in a very tight condition. And also the third aspect of challenge is peace enforcing. There are more and more peace enforcing rather than peacekeeping. The examples are in Congo and in Mali. UN peacekeepers have achieved success in Guatemala, Salvador, Croatia, East Timor, Angola, Liberia, Sudan, etc., while missions like Congo and Mali are still facing challenges. In spite of the hardships and dedication, we are in peacekeeping receiving flags due to the sexual misconduct of some of the peacekeepers in uniform. There have been allegations of bringing in cholera as a pandemic in one of the missions, and also the peacekeepers using their bayonet or their weapons indiscriminately, which is definitely a wrong thing, and we must repair this damage. Before I close this, I must mention that although UN has been much maligned, much criticized for being too slow in the process of peace and achieving too small.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. As a formal inauguration, we would like to introduce the chairpersons of the various committees to formally begin today's session. I would now like to introduce to you our very able EB panel members of the Lok Sabha. Having started his MUN career at the age of 13, Mr. Kripal Gowda has been a part of several MUN conferences, because of which he is well versed with the intricacies of the procedures and the vast knowledge of the field. He is exceptional in debates and has won several debates, including the ones conducted by ISRO, Infosys, and NIMHANS. Jovial but not amendable, presenting to you the Speaker of Lok Sabha, Mr. Kripal Gowda. Miss Surabhi Kashyap is one of the most approachable and dedicated persons you'll ever meet. She's the co-founder of Right Ops, a student-based organization which throws light on social issues. Apart from being a budding munner, she's adjudicated debates and also attended various public speaking forums. Her unique outlook is and has always made people ponder about various topics. She is an aspiring lawyer and wishes to pursue the liberal arts stream, a human rights activist at heart indeed. Miss Surabhi is among many people who wishes to make this world a better place and has stepped up to it. Presenting to you, Miss Surabhi Kashyap, the Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha. We next have the diligent EB panel members of the Historic Security Council. With accolades from MUNs which are too many to mention individually, he is not only well versed with a plethora of subjects, but also makes a formidable opponent. This EB member is probably the most enigmatic, jovial, and cordial member of the Bangalore circuit, who is bound to enhance any conference by his presence and approachability. An exemplary diplomat, this EB member not only builds bridges rather than walls, but has also learned to wield the power of words tactfully. Presenting to you, Diplomat Extraordinaire, the President of the Historic Security Council, Mr. Alden D'Souza. With a thirst for knowledge and seeking the truth, he is always yearning to learn new things about the world. As a part of the Bangalore MUN circuit for 4 years, he knows the circuit through and through. Please welcome Mr. Kual Rajan, Vice President of the Historic Security Council. And now, it is time to welcome the efficient EB panel members of the World Health Organization. A final year ECE student from PES University, Bangalore. She has won accolades in prestigious conferences such as Vitman, Rotaman, and PCON, to name a few. She has served as the director and vice chair of UNHRC in previous editions of PCON and has also served as the chair of UNESCO in the last edition of Roman. She has also served as the Under Secretary General in the last edition of PCON and is currently serving as the president of PES-MUN SOC. Presenting to you Ms. Shalini Bandyopadhyay, Chairperson of the World Health Organization. Being munning over 10 months, Mr. Rohit has experienced and discovered a lot of muns. He is a diligent yet very friendly person who likes to work hard, but at the same time he tries to make everything fun and enjoyable. Over the past year, he has a keen understanding of international relations and policy. He has also attended several conferences and has received accolades at FutureMUN, CanMUN, and IIMUN. Presenting to you Mr. Rohit Rao, Vice Chairperson of the World Health Organization. Please welcome the next panel of potent EB members of the United Nations Human Rights Committee. Bearing an experience of over 35 conferences spanning almost 5 years, she's more than capable of showing you exactly where you stand, how much you know, and exactly where you fall short. Her passive-aggressive style of debating and strategic lobbying has led her to dominate MUN circuits across India, including Harvard Model United Nations India, Polaris conferences, Paradox conferences, etc. She has served on various executive boards across the globe, twice as an assistant director at HMUN Dubai and India, among others. An artist in the art form of debate, presenting to you the chairperson of the UNHRC, Miss Sinhani Prem. The next individual is one of the best candidates to evaluate the strength of an argument. She possesses high acumen to differentiate arguments based on merits. She believes in articulation with appropriate level of sound quality research on the subject. Presenting to you Ms. Cheshna Chawla, Vice Chairperson of the UNHRC. Next, we introduce to you the assiduous EB panel members of the Continuous Crisis Committee. The next person to be introduced is an avid munner who has established a strong name for himself in the MUN circuit. He's been taking part in MUNs since 2016 and specializes in crisis committees. He recently made a mark in the International MUN circuit by winning the Most Outstanding Delegate in BIMUN 2 held in Bali, Indonesia. Beware delegates, for he can be as ruthless as one can get. Presenting to you the chairperson of the Continuous Crisis Committee, Mr. Dhanush Srinivas. Miss Arushi Paul entered the circuit a year back, eager to deepen her understanding on global issues. She has henceforth participated with enthusiasm in several conferences. She firmly believes that a dialogue is better for resolving conflict over direct confrontation of any form. She is also a strong defender of human rights and the environment. We bring to you a deceptively serene and calm individual, the Vice Chairperson of the Crisis Committee, Miss Arushi Paul. And last but not the least, we welcome our final panel of effective EB members of the UNCSW. An avid debater with an extrovert personality, has been an active member in the circuit for several years, an active mooter, and has successfully organized many moots. A confident learner, having keen interest in public international law and human rights, firmly believes in the power of dialogue to resolve conflicts. We bring to you Miss Anakha Angeline Anilesh, Chairperson of the United Nations Committee for Security of Women. Over the past few years, this executive board member has received accolades from MUNs both at home and overseas. Her approach to any committee may be defined by two words: diplomacy and reason. Her persuasiveness and charm, coupled with her absolute commitment to knowledge and logically driven arguments, make her the model diplomat. Through her consistency, she has earned her place amongst the distinguished few, with placements from every single MUN they have attended. She has also served on the executive board of various conferences, including GMUN 2019. Presenting to you the Vice Chairperson of the United Nations Committee of Security of Women, Miss Kiara Jacob. I now take great pleasure in announcing our Secretary General, Miss Vania Kapoor, undoubtedly a name to reckon with. There are no better words to best describe this person, for she is best known for her wittiness and discreet manipulative nature in committee. Having the experience of more than 20 months in just 2 years, she has climbed the career ladder at an unbeatable pace. A firm vegan and activist in climate change, her activism took her to the United Nations, where she presented a speech on youth sustainability in the August of 2019. Apart from MUNs, she is an enthusiastic theater artist and has received 7 distinctions from Trinity College. Please put your hands together for Miss Vania Kapoor, our Secretary General of GMUN 2020. We now invite our Honorable Secretary General of GMUN, Miss Vania Kapoor Achudan, to address the gathering.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to start off by thanking Gopalan for allowing me to be a part of this wonderful MUN for the third time now. It's truly been an honor to work with Gopalan and the members of the school, and I'm really grateful to have this opportunity to work with them yet again. I'm going to keep this short. What I particularly love about Gopalan and why I am continuously involved with them is because of the multifaceted approach that we take to MUNs. We understand that every delegate likes different types of conferences and different types of agendas, which is what we try to inculcate in our MUN. We have from the CCC to the Lok Sabha to the CSW. So because of the wide range of committees that we have, I am particularly excited for this year, and I'm looking forward to the debate that's going to occur. I must state, though, as a student at University College London studying politics and international relations, at university I'm specializing in Middle Eastern politics, particularly in the Iran-Iraqi-Saudi Arabia relations, which is why I am really excited with this year's UNSC and the UNHRC, as both of them focus on the MENA region. And I know that I'm going to be thrilled to watch the debate occurring in both of those countries, as it is highly relevant to my degree. I just hope that all the delegates can take something back from this opportunity. Your executive board and I are extremely approachable. So your executive board will be taking an initial induction lesson with rules of procedure. So just have a blast. Do not worry. It really doesn't matter, whether you place or not. I have not placed in many of the months that I've participated in, but I can by far say that those are the months that I learned the most in, which is what matters at the end of the day. And I'm really hoping that a lot of the delegates can come out of this opportunity wanting to pursue a career in this field, in the field of international relations, public policy, and politics. And maybe we could work together someday in the future, and yeah, that's about it. I hope you have a great 2 days, and all the best, and stay safe.
Thank you for your wonderful speech, Miss Kapoor. Now, I'd like to invite Miss Veda to deliver the vote of thanks.
Honorable Principal Ma'am, respected coordinators, and our most valued invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege to have been asked to present a vote of thanks to y'all on this occasion. On behalf of Gopalan International School, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the delegates for taking time away from your important work and sharing your valuable time with us today. I also extend my vote of thanks to the Honorable EB for taking time out and investing their time in this event. I also extend my thanks to the OC for their enormous cooperation in the organization of this event. Well, the organizing committee, ladies and gentlemen, an event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels started rolling weeks ago. It requires planning and a bird's eye for details. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues of GIS who know their job and are result-oriented. I cannot thank everyone enough for their involvement and their willingness to take on the completion of tasks beyond their comfort zones. During these unprecedented times, while we're virtually connected, our institution and my colleagues tried their very best to make this event a grand success. It is with your cooperation and active participation that we have achieved that goal and kept the journey going. I would like to end my speech with a very famous quote. Every accomplishment starts with a decision to try. Now with that quote, I would like to invite the Secretary General to open the conference, wishing the very best to each and every delegate and everyone present here, and hope to make this event a grand success with your help and active participation. Thank you and all the best.
Without further ado, by the powers vested in me, On behalf of Gopalan International School, I hereby declare GMUN 2020 open.
Thank you, Miss Veda and Miss Vanya. We request you to pay close attention to the schedule for the day. Day 1, 30th October. The first session begins at 10 a.m. and ends at 12:30 p.m. We will be breaking for lunch at 12:30 p.m. The second session begins at 1 p.m. and the first day closes at 3:30 p.m. Day 2, 31st October. The third session begins at 8:30 a.m. and we shall take a short break at 10:30 a.m. The fourth session begins at 10:45 a.m. and we'll break for lunch at 1:15 p.m. The fifth session will be beginning at 1:45 p.m. and the closing ceremony will be conducted at 4 p.m. Thank you, delegates, teachers, and my dear friends. Wishing you all a fruitful and enriching 2 days of GMUN. This is Shivani Dinesh signing off for the day.